Today we're going to demonstrate fully managed Linkerd. On the left, you can see we've got our terminal set up where we have Linkerd running on a local cluster, stable 2.11.1. On the right, you can see we have Buoyant Cloud observing that cluster. You can see we have stable 2.11.1 running on the cluster right now. We're going to demonstrate upgrading it to stable 2.11.2 via fully managed Linkerd. You can see we have a few custom resources that enable fully managed Linkerd to do its job. You can see we have a control plane custom resource and some data plane custom resources, and those all inform fully managed Linkerd how to manage the cluster. So at the top, we're going to set a watch on the control plane custom resource, and then we're also going to set a watch on the data plane custom resources. Resource looks like. You can see it's quite simple. It just has the version of Linkerd that we want running on our cluster, stable 2.11.1. We're going to simply edit that, and we'll change that one value to 2.11.2. And you'll note when we apply it to our cluster, it all happens fairly quickly. We're going to apply it and then observe that the control plane will quickly upgrade, and then the data plane will follow. You can see here the control plane custom resource is ready to be updated. As soon as we apply that custom resource, the upgrade process begins, and you can see the upgrade process for the control plane is proceeding, and the data plane is now in a pending state. It's waiting for the control plane to complete upgrading, and once it does, it will restart all of the injected workloads to make sure that all of the proxies are up to date. On the right, you can observe Buoyant Cloud, noting that the control plane components are upgrading to the desired version of Linkerd. It's already done. Now you can see the data plane is taking over, and you'll see kind of one workload at a time across 3 different namespaces, workloads being restarted. Typically, this is all a very manual process where you as a user would upgrade Linkerd yourself, and then you would need to go through all of the deployments and stateful sets and daemon sets running on your cluster, and you'd have to restart all of them to ensure they all have the latest version of the Linkerd proxy injected. And again, that's what fully managed Linkerd does for you. Note that we only changed that one value in our custom resource, and it caused a control plane upgrade and then all of the data plane proxies to be upgraded as well. Okay, you can now see that all of the data plane workloads are up to date. There's a few lingering pods that are still terminating, but the status of all of our custom resources are now up to date. We can run a Linkerd version command and observe that we're on the latest stable. And if we use Buoyant Cloud to look at our data plane, we can note that all of the proxies running in all of our different workloads are now on stable 2.11.2.